Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. Good morning, everybody. Wow, look at this. So I was just looking at the chart. I wanted to take a step back and think about the emotions in this chart. So most often when you have a close outside of your range, like in this case, our bottom was here, right there at 18,973. And we had this move down and closed below. And then we popped up the next day. And so what were the emotions saying right here? The emotions were saying that yes, we had a terrible close, but the very next day everyone shrugged it off. And so this type of activity is what makes me think that the Wyckoff is still in play. So we just barely had the lowest close in the entire cycle. So this close at 18,457 was the lowest close that we have experienced in the entire bear market for this entire cycle. And then how did the market react to that? The market has reacted the exact same way so far. We have 7.5 hours left, but there is no fear here. If we closed like, let's just use an example up here. Up here, we had this level here. We closed below it, no fear. We closed very close to it, slightly below, no fear. Then we closed below it here. The next day was absolute fear. So when we're looking at this market and we're looking at this chart, there's just a lot of psychology going on here. Does that mean we're out of the woods? I mean, you can't say anything definitively. Markets are completely irrational. But when we are making new lows and the response the next day is a green candle, it makes me feel like market manipulators are hard at work, and it really confirms to me that the Wyckoff scenario is, the case for the Wyckoff is getting stronger, not weaker. So in this Wyckoff theory, we have our selling climax, and then we do these tests, secondary tests, how many tests that it needs. So we've had our climax, we've had our secondary test, and then we're waiting for a spring. Now I thought that this doji candle was our spring. But this close below is probably a lot more serious of an emotional move than this was, where markets are closing at worse levels, and now we're having a green day. It really, really smells a lot like market manipulation, because the masses aren't panic selling. There's not enough here to say that we're collapsing. This is not the response of a market collapse. And in fact, if we closed anywhere in the vicinity of where we are right now, this is a non-textbook, but it is a bullish engulfing candle. We are closing above the candle body of the prior low, and this is not something we've seen yet. There's been no bullish engulfing in our drop down, so we have a strong bottom candle. This doji here. We have potentially a bullish engulfing. And we have this spring that we're waiting for. This spring takes place, it takes price below the low of the trading range and reverses to close within the trading range. We closed below. If we close above, it's making a very strong case that this could be our spring. And when do we find our spring in the Wyckoff? It happens here it is. The spring and shakeout usually occur late within a trading range. For those of us that have been studying the 4-year cycle for many, many years, the 4-year cycle they don't last. The very, very bottom events of the bear cycle do not last much more than 100 days. This is definitely late in this trading range for sure. So as much as yesterday was just unbelievable, I really was surprised to see price action below our dragonfly doji. I mean, I just wouldn't have. I would have put good money that we wouldn't have done this. And so just as wild and emotional as this is, we expect, if Wyckoff is still in play, we expect this type of activity near the end of the accumulation. There was a lot of volume yesterday. There was a lot of chance for market manipulators to adjust their position. They were able to sell anything they wanted at a premium, and they were able to buy at a discount. They did this all day long. The volume was 24,000 Bitcoin on just KuCoin. That's the chart that I'm looking at, and it's roughly double what our average was. So when you see large volumes, you know that whales are shifting money around. And this type of activity is exactly what we're looking for. I mean, this is what we would find stereotypically at the end of our trading range if we're looking to see our spring before things move. So where do we go from here? Well, the major question is, first of all, we need to close this candle. And honestly, we need to close it in the trading range. Our trading range is our blue line here, which is at 18. We'll just round it to 18,800. So if at 18,800 we close above, that would really go a long ways to saying that this might be the end of our situation we've been dealing with. The other thing that would be great is our open on this candle here is 18,872. So if we close above the open, then our bullish engulfing case is in play. It's not textbook. This long wick does not it doesn't play into the bullish engulfing, but it does make a strong case that we've erased the close. We've erased this close after this entire candle's activity by a close above. So this would be bullish. it's unbelievable. It really is adding out. And I mean, I don't know if you guys see it or not, but I just don't feel a lot of fear here. We've dropped a ton. We're looking for bottom candles for whatever leg there is, and I'm not sure how big or exciting the leg will be. If we do get a leg up and we come back and test these lows again, it's not going to look good. It's not going to be good. But according to Wyckoff, if we have a spring, we should have some sort of a bounce, and then we should be retesting one of the prior levels. That means we need a few days or weeks above this line, and then we would expect a touch or a body close near this level, but nothing below. If we start closing candles in here, that's where I think we could see a fear event. But this is not a fear event. This feels a lot like manipulation. An unbelievable emotional day yesterday, lower close than our doji candle, which should have been unbelievable support, and now we're shrugging it off with a green candle. It's just I just have a hard time getting on the boat of I need to go short right now. I just don't. I'm just not there. So that is Bitcoin. Very, very interesting. A lot of market psychology at play. It's very complex and highly emotional, but this could be our turn. If this really is the spring, this should be the worst of it. Like that's how this works. If it's not the spring, then I'm not sure what else lies ahead, but it sure looks a lot like a spring. It'll be confirmed if we get a few more green days. If we get a few more green days and we get back up in our trading range, then this is going to look a lot like the spring that we've been kind of looking for. In my opinion, Ethereum is kind of secondary to Bitcoin's price action. I know a lot of people will be, might be devastated to see a close below our 200-week, but it's not technically a close. A 200-week close actually has to happen on a weekly chart. So on our weekly chart, our highest candle body was here, and it was 1197. So 1200 is our actual number. The low on this is 1218, so it didn't quite touch below there. But yeah, so our weekly close happens in 3 days and 8 hours. And if we were to close above that and put a nice doji here, that would be a bullish scenario. So Ethereum is sort of on the back burner. My attention's more closely looking at Bitcoin, because I think it will be the driver. If we have a strong Bitcoin, we'll have a strong Ethereum. The rest of the market is loving the relief. There are tons of coins that are green, but it'll only be green as long as Bitcoin is in the green as well. But I think alts have been looking for a reason to go up, because look at some of these returns. We've got a 20% and lots of 6 and 7s, even though Bitcoin and Ethereum are only up 2%. So lots of relief looking for in the alt market. So there's quite a few jumps. One of the biggest movers that I've been closely following is the XRP. So XRP is one of the biggest movers today, and its kind of counterpart XLM is also coming up well. So some of these charts have really good structure. Atom is also trying to regain movement. We're between the 50 and the 200, and it's totally fine to have a squeeze here. This just almost creates a bull flag. And bull flags pay off. Just ask Chili's. So Chili's has done this bull flag, and we just got support right off of our 50-week moving average. And this is looking very bullish right here. So lots of good things today. But it really all comes down to where will Bitcoin close? And it would really, really be awesome to close in the 19,000 range of some kind. And then we'll need a green day tomorrow. Like between those two things, that would pretty much solidify the case that we are totally in a Wyckoff spring and some of the pain might be decreasing. I know it's pretty unpopular to say that. I think most people think that markets are going down. And you know what? I don't claim to be right all the time, but I'm just calling it the way I see it. So that's kind of what I'm looking at this point. And we'll be, following closely every day as we continue to go through this. But one thing that I was looking at today, just on a final note, is we're looking at the monthly. The monthly is huge. We have 8 days until this close, and we really, for any kind of a bull case, we need to be above 19,850. So we need to pretty much go up $1,000 by the end of the month if we're going to have a reversal. This will not play out well if we can't do that. We have the structure to do it though. So when if we're in our daily and we have a couple of days where we can just get our head above water, find support off of our prior trading range, that gives us plenty of time to move up into the 19.8 range by the end of the month. And it could all play out just beautifully. But right now we are absolutely at a crucial turning point. Like this is the stuff that we'll point to for a long time if this turns out to be true. Because I think the odds are much higher than 50% that this is our spring. But it's all odds. They don't always, even a 99% trade can 1% chance it can fall apart. So, but yeah, lots of clues as we kind of unroll the mystery one candle at a time to see what the future holds. Anyway, very, very interesting and very encouraging. This green day, if today we woke up and we were down, it would be panic mode. But this here, there's just no fear. There's no fear here. So that means manipulators are at work, and that means that the Wyckoff is still in play in my mind. Okay, we will go over this again over the next few days. We'll catch you all tomorrow. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.